All right. So let's talk about mistakes men make. So one of the biggest mistake that a lot of guys make is they're trying to constantly figure out what she is thinking, right? Or what that woman is thinking. And the thing is, you don't really need to read her mind, right? You just really need to focus on her behavior. And so today, I'm going to teach you about, is she interested or is she just playing games? Now, the first one is you have to always, always, always bottom line her actions. And I've said this multiple times. But if you like focus and you pay attention to what she's doing, you know, I'm not saying don't listen to her. What she says and how she behaves, those are something that you want to see and match if it's congruent, right? So when I say like don't listen to what she says, watch what she does consistently. You also want to match her behaviors and see, does what she say match what she does. So example is she making time for you? So is she going, if she's going out with you, assume that she is interested. Just assume. But also you want to see her level of interest. Like when you are out with her, does she pay attention? Does she ask you questions? And also, does she reach out to you as well? Does she make it easy to see you? Because if she's making you constantly go through certain type of hoops in order to get her out on a date, like say for example, today's Saturday, and then you go and ask her, "Hey, what are you doing next weekend or next week?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm very busy." And then you ask again, like, "Oh, when are you gonna be free?" And she's like, "Well, I don't know." All you have to do that moving forward is you do the little takeaway. And this is the takeaway from Coach Corey Wayne. You do the takeaway and you say something like, "Well, it looks like you're busy. So, when your schedule frees up or when it clears up, just get in touch with me and we'll schedule something then, or we'll plan something then." And the reason for doing that is because you're doing that in respect of yourself, so that you could claim back some of the power for yourself, and you're not just constantly giving it to someone that does not respect you or appreciate your time. Because the number one thing is that if you don't respect yourself, nobody else will. So that's the key thing. You got to pull that back. I'm from Cali. How about yourself? All right. Now, you have to look into, does she invest into getting to know you? Is she asking questions? Does she want to know, like, what are some things that you enjoy doing? Like, those are important too, because when she's asking you certain questions, instead of you constantly asking her what she likes, like, see if she is going to want to get to know you a little bit more. What are certain things that you like? Because women who are interested, that's interested in you, will pay attention to the things that you enjoy as well. And so you could share a few things, and then eventually you want to kind of flip it back on her so that you could try to get to know her. The goal is to have her talk and to communicate, and then you listen. And when you listen, you can respond, and then you can ask another question. Let's just say you're out on a date, and you're out for a few hours. You're having a good time. You're having dinner. You might have a few drinks, depending if you guys drink or not. And then she's having a good time. If you made her feel like she's talking like 70 to 80% of the time, what's going to happen is that, and she's having a good time with you, she's going to reflect that good time, or you having a good time with you. And she's like, wow, like, she got to talk a lot about herself, but then she didn't really get to know you that much because you're not really out there trying to talk about yourself as a guy, right? You're trying to get to know her to see what she's interested in, what she likes. Now, obviously, like I said, you still want her to reciprocate and ask you certain questions about yourself too. But then a lot of mistakes that men make is that they don't really pay attention to what women wants are. Women love to talk, okay? Especially if they're interested, and they want to talk. Women love to talk about them. Everyone's favorite subject is themselves. So if you're asking good quality questions and she's expressing herself, eventually she's going to relate those good feelings back to you. And so you have to ask yourself, like, is she getting to know you a little bit, and are you asking good quality questions so that she can express like what she likes, what her interests? And then also you could detect whether or not is this the person that I want to spend my time with. Like, that's also very important, because if you think about it like this too, people who are genuinely interested, you don't have to use a lot of words to try to convince them to go out with you, right? All you have to do is see what the action says. If they, in other words, women, they vote with their feet. If they are with you, they're for you. If they're not, then you already know where you stand. You don't really need to try to convince her, in other words. And so, bottom line is, you really don't need to be like this detective trying to analyze text messages, right? Her interest and attraction leaves a lot of clues based off her behavior. So then next time, instead of asking, when you get a text message like, what does this mean? What's up, Bree? What's going on? Next time, you don't have to ask yourself like, oh, what does this mean? All you have to really do is just bottom line the actions. Like, what were some of these actions over the last few days, over the last few weeks? Because once you stop chasing words and start watching her behavior, dating becomes a whole lot less confusing for you. Now, number two is, and a lot of guys make this mistake. I made the mistake too a long time ago, which is trying to lock her down, right? A lot of guys try to lock a woman down before she's ready, and it's not her choice. And then you basically giving up all your cards, right? Let me take a sip of this LaCroix. Now, the idea of this is when you're in the early stages of dating, early dating is about enjoying each other's company, not talking about relationship and not trying to negotiate where you stand with her or how she feels. Because from that perspective, it's like it comes off as a weak type of behavior. Like, you're needy, you're desperate. I need to know where I am so that I can feel better about myself. Because, and then you could try to justify it however way you want. Like, oh, I'm just trying not to waste my time. But like I said, it still comes off or conveys as very needy type of behavior. I need this type of validation so I know I'm worthy. Women already want to be with a man that knows he's worthy of their time. And so, like I said, a lot of guys, they make the mistake of trying to secure this committed relationship. Like, oh, where do you see us? Right? And so I've always said, leave it up for her. Leave it up to her. All you have to do is just focus on hanging out, having fun, and hooking up. Coach Corey Wayne. Okay. Now, obviously, you want to let the relationship that you guys have develop naturally, right? But also, you have to go in with this perspective and this idea of you have to give her time and space to choose you. Because if you constantly bombarding her, constantly texting her, trying to get to know her through like text messages and things like that, so that she doesn't forget about you, you're only going to push her away even more. And so I always go back to this phrase, which is love is allowing. You allow them to choose you without unnecessary pressure. So if she's happy with the way things are, she'll usually continue investing her time and energy into you. Woman who does not invest her time or her energy into you, she will not be with you or sleep with you and things like that. So if she wants something more serious, let her ask. Because feminine energy is about opening up to receive love and bond and connect anyways. So then when you leave it up to her, you already know where she stands with you. You don't need to ask that question. And all you have to do is, do I agree with this? Is this something that I want? And then you let her know. And so when she asks where things are headed, it's her idea to bring up being exclusive with you. Now, when you are trying to force things, when you're trying to force that type of conversation too early, like I said, it creates a lot of unnecessary pressure that ruins the attraction. And on top of that, there's no mystery. Cherry on top, she already knows that you like her more than she likes you. And it's a fact that woman needs to like you more in order for her to consistently have that type of feeling of, damn, there's something about this guy that I don't really know. And you're not keeping it away from her. You're just focusing on doing the things that you need to do. When you have the time, you spend it with her because you enjoy her company. So it's like figuring out things that align with your goals and values too as well. But in the meantime, you allow her to choose you. You don't pressure her. Hello, sup Tiki? So yeah, anyways, no unnecessary pressure, okay? It ruins attraction. There's no mystery. And she will know that you like her more than she likes you. And that's usually a recipe for this. Like, you're just not going to get anything from that. So attraction grows through space and positive experiences together. Okay. It's not about talking about relationship and negotiating where you stand with her. You don't build attraction by talking about becoming boyfriend and girlfriend. You don't. You build attraction by creating very fun, romantic, enjoyable experiences that make someone want to spend more time with you. So it really depends on your mindset when you go out on that date and how you're gonna what your focus is on, right? Quick little side story. Before I knew anything like this, in my early 20s, late teens, I would go out with my friends thinking, this whole idea of like, damn, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to find me a girl. I'm going to find me a woman. And that type of energy that comes out when I went out, it came out as desperate. It came out as desperate. They sensed that type of energy. And it's like the same thing where it's like, women know. It's like when you are in a relationship, other people start to come to you and start wanting your time a little bit more because you're a little less available. You're kind of like, no, I'm in a relationship right now, so I'm not interested. So that type of pushback on them, they're not used to that. And so they want you a little bit more. But when you're single, you're like, how come there's no one in sight? How come nobody wants me? That's kind of like that idea, is being a little less available for everybody. Now, number 3, it's if she doesn't want commitment, believe her. It's okay, right? Don't argue with the reality. Now, suppose that you went out on a couple of dates. She's happy on going out on those dates. Maybe y'all sleeping together and she brings up like, I don't want anything serious. I'm just here to have fun. Now, there's 2 ways of taking this. Number 1 is like you could get butthurt and you're like, well, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. I want to be in a relationship. And then you start negotiating and then you're going to turn her off. Okay. And once you turn her off, she's not going to want to be with you. She's not going to want to be around you. She's not going to want to sleep with you. Or on the other hand, you could be like kind of nonchalant about it. It's okay. Now, she already told you what she wants. That's fine. The idea is like, well, why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? So now this also means that if she doesn't want anything more than, hooking up, that's fine. That's okay. She's communicated that. You should continue. You don't really need to necessarily say this to her, but you should continue to go out on dates with other people as well until you get what you want, assuming that's what you want, is to find someone to be in a relationship with. Okay? Now, The reason why is because you don't want to lock yourself down into someone that's already told you what they want. Okay? Take it at face value. She doesn't want to be in a relationship. Okay? And usually, women do not bring up, I don't want to be in a relationship unless she feels a sense of pressure that you're trying to convince her to be in a relationship. Like, where are we? What do you see us in, I don't know, couple months? Like, things like that. Usually women don't bring that up. Now, if she does decide to bring it up because she doesn't want to hurt your feelings, she's just trying to have a good time, by all means, that's fine too, right? Like, people have their reasons for saying things. But most of the time, like I said, she wouldn't just bring it up just because she wants to bring it up. She's bringing it up because she feels a sense of pressure. Hi, how's your day? My day's going well. How about yours? Now, like I said, take it at face value. When people tell you who they are the first time, believe them. Don't try to persuade her. Don't assume that she will change her mind through your patience. And most importantly, don't sit around waiting for your chance to show up. Like, if it does, it does. Okay? It's okay. Move on. There's other people. It's okay to move on to the next. Like I said, you'll always have more opportunities. Trust me, because personally, I know what it's like to have this one-itis where, oh, this is the only person that I want. Nobody else. I don't want nobody else, right? And it's this idea that you play in your head because you sit around all day. Look, it's embarrassing for me to even say this, but everybody experiences things. And so when I had this whole idea of this one-itis, I sat around thinking like, oh, this person is going to be the only person in my life. There's nobody else. And just thinking about what may or may not happen, fantasizing, which, thinking of things that not happening, thinking that it will, right? It makes me feel better. Like, oh my God, like, what if we had kids? We got a nice house together, whatever. It's like all that, just put it aside. It's okay. Stick to reality, right? You can live in the moment, put everything aside, live in the moment, and build yourself consistently to become someone that is irresistible. That someone where if you walk up to the next person that you have curiosity, some sort of interest in, that you feel so good about yourself, it's like they will feel like they missed out because they said no. And that's okay. You're not pressuring anybody. And so that's the type of energy that you want to be putting out to the world, where that's this natural sense of pulling, this attraction. Okay. But it requires a lot of time. It requires a lot of patience. It's not necessarily something that you could measure, neither. It's when you have this sense of belief about yourself and you're confident with who you are. You're not trying to be cocky in any other way. You're also very humble about the things that you do. And you continue doing it because you're obsessed over it and you enjoy it. Naturally, you're going to be good at it. And when you're good at things, it's going to draw people in. And that's how it's supposed to come. But you see, there's a lot of steps to it. And not a lot of people have that type of patience. Now, I think this is the last one, which is keep your options open until commitment is mutual. Mutual. Talking about being exclusive should be mutual, not assumed, okay? Just because you went on a few dates, you had a good time, she's not your girl. If there hasn't been a clear conversation between her coming to you about being exclusive, do not act as though you're already in a committed relationship. What does it mean and what does it look like? Well, say you guys went out on a few dates, you hooked up, you had a good time. She likes you, you like her, you know it. But then she's like, well, I'm going out with some friends. She's trying to be a little evasive about it. You're like, who are these friends? Are they guys? Are there gonna be guys there? Ignore all that. Don't say anything. Go have fun. Enjoy yourself. I hope you have a good time. That's it. Why? Because you want the best for them. Like I said, it goes back to love is allowing. You're not in an exclusive relationship. You guys didn't sit down and she came up to you and say, "Well, I don't want you to see anybody else." She never said that. So assume that it's still all is fair in love and war. And so that, like I said, don't act as though you are already in a relationship. It's fine. Let her have fun. Let her have a good time. Let her character on who she is reveal itself naturally. Because what ends up happening is when you are acting as though you are in a relationship when you're not, it creates a lot of anxiety because you're investing too much and you're investing everything before you even know where she stands and where you stand. Okay. Instead, like I said, continue building your own life because you should be busy enough where you're focusing on the things that you want to build for yourself, whether it's your body, whether it's your finances, right? Like your mind, whatever it may be, keep building that up. And also keep dating other people until then. Because when you are also dating other people, you're not going to be too fixated on that one person. You might have your favorites, but it puts you in this mindset. Too bad I didn't hear this when I was just dating others. What do you mean? Did it happen to you, Bree? So yeah, like that's where anxiety lives, right? Anxiety lives when you're thinking too far ahead in the future or too much in the past. Yeah, keep your options open. Like it's okay. Now this is what I heard. Okay, it's a little side story, which is in different cultures, at least in from Asian culture, like Chinese, I guess. I don't know. From what I heard, it sounds like, and not in the U.S. I'm talking about like Asia, where if a girl is going on dates with the guy, she doesn't want the guy to see anybody else. It's like, well, he's hers, in other words. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I mean, if you want it, I think you should communicate it. That's what I believe. Until then, all is fair in love and war. It's okay, right? Like I wouldn't be upset if you went out on dates. Like I would go in to that date thinking that like I want you to feel like you picked out the best person. Not because I felt desperate and you should choose me because my life is miserable. That's the worst thing that I want for you. Because if I'm miserable and I want to draw you into my life for that, we're both going to be miserable. And I want us to have a good life. Excuse me. Let me blow my nose. All right. But like I said, that's just me. People have different viewpoints on that. And that's okay, right? Like I'm not here to change everybody. I'm just here to help people live the best life that they could. So, anyways, ignore all that anxiety thing, right? Into one person. Continue dating other people. Build your own life. See other people. Okay? Now, this also means that when you are like, even though you have your favorite person that you're dating, don't tie both of your shoes together, okay? Before the race starts. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. Like I said, all is fair in love and war, and it's okay. There's different ways of approaching it, right? Like some people take all is fair in love and war a little bit too far. And when they think of war, they're thinking like, well, I want that girl. I don't care if she married, she engaged, she's mine until she says no to me. Like until she really says no, right? Like there's people that take it too far. For me, I'm like, look, if you're in any type of relationship and you're exclusive, Enjoy your life. It's okay. There will be other people. Um, yeah, but that's just me. Anyways, let exclusivity. I can't never say that word. Exclusivity. You know what I mean. Let exclusivity happen because both people genuinely want it. Both. Not because one person is afraid of losing the other person. And this applies to also being while in a relationship and getting married, okay? And you could sense that. That should be another topic that I talk about too, which is, before getting, if marriage is both of your values, make sure you both want it, not because you're in this high feeling of like, damn, I love this person right now, but also ask yourself questions like, well, how well do we handle difficult discussions? Is this the person that I want to be with? And if the answer is yes, you also want to ask yourself, does it feel like this person is asking me to marry them because that person really wants to be with me like 100%, or because in some level they feel like they just don't want to lose me, and so they want to lock me down into this signature that you have to sign? Like, what is it? Because that will determine the path of your relationship. Now, moving forward, when someone values, okay, when someone values having you in their life, they will make it clear. They will make it crystal clear, okay, that through their actions and their willingness to define the relationship. But be that someone who values you in their life. So what does it mean? It means that you got to build yourself up, okay? And like I said, it might sound shallow to say this, but like you got to make sure you take care of yourself physically, because it's really important to stay physically attractive, not just for yourself, but for your partner as well. Because there's, people like to ignore it. They say like, oh, you can't be this shallow. You should love them for who they are. To some degree, there is some truth to that. But if you're not attracted to your partner and they don't see you as attractive, it's gonna be an uphill battle. And so you owe it to yourself and to your relationship to be like, hey, look, you're starting to slip a little bit, and that's okay. We're allowed to have a good time, but sometimes it's more important to get back into not what we once were, but to continue to do the things that is helping our relationship. And so for me, it's easy for me because fitness and eating well and occasionally having a good time, that's okay to do that. But I always go back to, at least for myself, it's like this rule, which is kind of like the 80-20 rule, which 80% of the time you focus on the things that you need to do, and 20% of the time that you enjoy. Now also, and I'm gonna update that a little bit because that's what I used to be, what I used to say. Now, I wouldn't say 80-20 as much. I'll probably bump it up to somewhere between like 90-ish%, like 90-95, right? Somewhere around there where I enjoy myself, but it's not as much as I used to. And the only reason why I say that is because I really do enjoy, say, not drinking, because it kind of messes me up for the next few days. And also because I am getting a little bit older, it affects me a lot more than, even 10 years ago. And because of that, I'm just like more in tune with, or more focused on where I want to be and stay as consistent as possible for myself and also for our relationship as well. And so that's why it's so important to focus on the things that what are your goals and what are your values? Because if you don't have similar goals and similar values, it's going to be an uphill battle. Like I said, if that person likes to go out and you like to be a homebody and you trying to keep them in the house with you, it's going to be a lot of friction, right? Values like, well, is that person religious and you're not, or maybe you believe in different religion, like that's going to cause more friction. So the idea is to shave off certain things and align yourself with the right people that are non-negotiables for you. And when you have that, your life is going to be a lot easier. I'm not saying that relationships that you're in right now won't work. I'm just saying that you're going to have a lot more unnecessary discussions than you have to. So why put yourself in that situation knowing it? But like I said, a lot of people, they don't know about getting into a relationship until they're like, damn, shit is really hitting the fan right now and things aren't going the way that I thought it would, right? Because reality hits. Even like the person that you want to be with, you're like, oh my God, I've been fantasizing this person for so long, blah, 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 blah. Like eventually the honeymoon, I wouldn't even call that honeymoon. It's like the unicorn phase. Like that will end eventually. So having similar goals, similar values, right? And make it like they will make it clear if they want you or not, right? And so continue to be better. Continue to always strive to be better for yourself. You only got this one life. You got lucky, all right? You made it past the goalie, okay? So now to summarize everything is, I think the biggest mistake that a lot of guys make or a lot of men make is they try to solve a lot of uncertainty with more conversation with the girl or with the woman. And most of the time, uncertainty isn't solved by asking better questions. Like, oh, where are we? I wouldn't even say better, but like asking those type of questions. It's really solved by just paying more attention to their actions. Because eventually her actions will dictate where you currently stand with her anyways. So for a lot of guys, your job isn't to try to convince someone to choose you. It's to notice who's already choosing you in the first place. Yeah, that. So if this message helped you, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Bree, always good to see you over here. I love to communicate with you a little bit more too as well. But I hope you've been doing well. I hope you've been doing well. I have. I've been living my life, enjoying it every step of the way. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Same. Good. I'd love to hear more about it next time. All right. Well, anyways, have a good weekend. And I'll catch you on the next live. All right. Peace.